Don Kendrick, you were covering this story earlier today. You said it was very clear how hard this case was, even on the judge who was deciding it today.
And you could tell she was sentencing the mom, but clearly Ashley's Al was on her heart. You could see it clear as day, and that no sentence, no matter how much, was going to bring her back. And so that got us thinking, how many kids died tragic deaths in 2017? Entirely too many. Tonight we take a moment to honor them beyond the days that their hard-to-tell stories made headlines.
January, 14-year-old Aliana DeFries missing. A community hoping and praying. And collectively, we felt crushed under the news that Aliana's body had been found in an abandoned Eastside Cleveland home. It was just days after she disappeared off the bus.
She may indeed be in the better place now, but we want her to be here with us.
May, that infamous Akron house fire and the loss of little lives that touched all our hearts. 5 children, siblings, Cameron, Olivia, Kyle, and Deja Huggins, and Jared Boggs died from smoke inhalation. Arson, they said.
This is the worst crime, the worst case in the history of this city.
October, Conneaut, the heinous, heartbreaking story of 1-year-old Serenity Sutley. 1 year old, and she died from blunt force trauma to her head and arms and legs.
She was a precious girl, and she brought me a reason to live.
Mom's boyfriend arrested on rape and murder charges. November, 12-year-old Abdel Bashidi shot and killed as he followed his father outside their family-owned beauty supply store. That was on Buckeye Road.
Abdul was a son, he was a brother, he was a grandchild, he was a nephew. Today it's our cousin, tomorrow it's someone else's child.
5 other boys between the ages of 14 and 16 shot as well that night. And then most recently, earlier this month, the jaw-dropping case of Jordan Rodriguez, 5 years old. The remains of his little body found buried behind his home on West 80th in Cleveland, the home he was growing up in. Reports of abuse and neglect surface as his own mom is charged in his death.
And the even sadder part is there are so many more. Tiara Bryant comes to mind. Her family waited 2 years, 3 months. Each day, reality chipped away at their faith. I know because they told me. Anniversaries and news cameras came and went as they hoped against hope. And before we ended up having to go back to do that story, that her remains had also been found too. Too many little victims, too many families with a grief that I imagine compares to no other heartache. And so even though those headlines have passed, as long as those families are alive, they are living that loss. And so we salute them tonight, and we just hope for a better 2018.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dawn.